Hello all and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about an important PC maintenance item that is often overlooked, replacing your CPU's thermal paste. To demo, I'll be using my Gigabyte Aros 15P gaming laptop that I've had for about 2 years now. Lately it has been running quite hot and quite loudly, which can be a sign that the thermal paste is dried up and not effectively doing its job. First, I'll remove the bottom of the laptop assembly. Then, I'll unplug the battery first thing. I'll then remove the display ribbon cable and both fan cables in preparation to remove the heatsink. There are 4 retaining screws around the outer corners of the fan assembly, as well as a handful of tension screws securing the heat sinks to the CPU and GPU. You'll note here that my thermal paste doesn't look too bad. It's not dried up or crumbly, and that's because I actually did this yesterday off camera. I decided to do it again today with some brand new Noctua thermal paste, as I found the paste that I had on hand was separating and not doing a great job. I assure you, however, my thermal paste looked more like this. As I begin cleaning off this old paste with alcohol wipes, let's talk about why it's important to replace the thermal paste every 2 to 3 years. There are tiny gaps between your processor and the heatsink that rests on top of it to move heat away. Without thermal paste, there would be only air in those tiny gaps helping to dissipate heat from the CPU to the heatsink, and air is a terrible thermal conductor. Thermal paste helps to move the heat from your CPU to your heatsink and then exhaust it out to the back of your machine. I'll also take this opportunity to blow out the fans and heat fins. Note that I hold the fans to ensure they do not move freely to wear the bearings or produce current that could flow back into your motherboard if yours are still connected as you do this. As an aside, I highly recommend one of these electric blowers over compressed air. I'll link this one in the description below. Now, with everything cleaned out, we can apply a dollop of the new thermal paste to both the CPU and the GPU before reinstalling the heatsink. I'll then plug the fans back in. The display ribbon cable. And while we have it open, I'm going to throw in a secondary SSD to house video games and video projects as the primary drive is getting full. I'll then resecure the bottom panel on the laptop, and that's it. Good as new with fresh thermal paste and a nice dusting. Here you can see the temperatures are floating around 74 to 75 degrees Celsius, and this is after running this benchmark for about 30 minutes. So certainly all of the heat dissipating components are saturated. Now, your mileage will vary a little bit depending on the hardware that you're doing this on, whether it's a desktop, which are usually easier, or a laptop, which are usually a little bit more difficult. But no matter how you take it apart or put it back together, the general idea is still the same. You're effectively cleaning out that old paste, wiping it down with alcohol, and then putting a dollop of new paste before resecuring everything. So anyway, hopefully this helped you. Thanks for watching.